are traumatized by life so often because love comes, love goes, love comes, love goes, and it's very difficult for our heart. We fall in love, we break up. We love, we fight. And this open close of the heart is super traumatizing. This is because we love the transient. But once we love the lasting, that love becomes constant. We start to get the flavor of the goal and we start to burn. There is a story of Rabbi Nachman, a wonderful Jewish saint from 18th century. He speaks about the father and the son. The father misses the son, and the son misses the father. And the son starts walking to the father, and the father is walking to the son. And the longing in their heart is so big, and they are so much in pain because they miss each other so much. And they can barely walk because their heart is so painful. And then at a certain moment, they both fall on the ground and they just can't move further because the longing is so big. And then a chariot comes, lifts the son, and takes him to the father. You can contemplate the meaning of that story. But as we get closer and the longing becomes so intense, the joy of the longing for God, and I will use now the word God more frequently, just not to say every time God and Buddha and everything, the longing for God becomes so fulfilling, so happy, so enriching for the soul, that the joys of this world become completely flat. And then you understand why all these saints, they would eat one piece of bread or some nettle thing, drink a little bit of water, have no entertainment, see no one, and pray all the time. It is far more enjoyable. Without incomparable. It's like if you would play now, you know, these phone games and computer games for 2 years old, where nothing can ever go wrong, and you wash the cat, and then you dry the cat with a hair dryer, and then you put some clothes on the cat, and it just goes on forever like that. And if you're 2 years old, it's quite satisfying. But imagine being a grown-up and playing that game day in, day out for 10 hours a day. This is how flat life looks. The entire life of human experience in comparison to that love. Once you love God and you feel that longing with the intensity that it can get, because it's much more intense than loving a person or loving humanity or loving yourself. That love is so intense, this is how everything else falls as flatness, as banality. So here we become certain, and then without any plan from our side, we will put all our energy in this one supreme goal. We bring it into our life, our work, our practice. We burn all the time. Our entire schedule is directed to that, our thoughts, our hearts. We burn and burn and burn and burn. And here, in this stage, we don't let anything slip. Nothing can contradict. We don't compromise any more vices, nothing. And there's absolutely, this is the end of compromise here. And from there, indeed, spiritual realization can come. And anyone who really wants it and is willing to follow these steps can attain realization. It is far more important to attain this one double quality of wanting it more than anything else, than any other thing on the spiritual path. If you direct your energies there constantly, you will succeed. Now, to increase spiritual aspiration, I'll not touch all the points here. You have here 7 points, and I'll just touch a little bit more in detail on 1 or 2. But if you contemplate and you feel that love that's already there, it will grow. And when you ask your existential questions of life again, it will grow. Any kind of contact with teachers and books will make it grow and persevere in spiritual practice. Now, when you awaken your heart, and you let it burn, this is where it wants to go. And the reality of the identity in the heart is so strong that it makes you realize the falseness of the head identity, of the mind identity. It is like you would be next to a very well-made hologram of a person. And you look at the hologram, and the hologram looks real. But then when the actual person comes next to it, the hologram looks fake. So when the heart awakens, our personality, by contrast, looks fake. Because of the absolute reality of the heart and the longing of the heart. So even just contemplating and meditating and energizing the heart will lead to that. Signs of success, and beloved Ramakrishna there, you feel light and happy. Just basically constantly. If you read the life of the pilgrim, the way of the pilgrim, this guy had a really hard life. He's a pilgrim, doesn't really have many friends, he's crippled with a hand, the other hand is barely working, he's living basically as a kind of Christian beggar, but he is blissed out the entire life because this is what he wants. He constantly says the prayer of the heart, day and night, also when he sleeps, and he is just, you can feel the joy from every word there. Another good sign is that you have a forgiving and humble attitude. It's a very bad sign if you get very angry and self-important from these. This is put there so that you don't deviate in the process. Unshakable faith and courage, and again the life of all saints from all traditions, they always showed this tremendous faith and courage, martyrs and so forth. Love becomes constant. You see, we are traumatized by life so often because love comes, love goes, love comes, love goes, love, and it's very difficult for our heart. We fall in love, we break up. We love, we fight. And this open close of the heart is super traumatizing. This is because we love the transient. But once we love the lasting, that love becomes constant.
Please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, all of that stuff.
From that stage, we have aversion to all vice. We would rather, like the saints of yore, die than do something sinful. And an immense spiritual power, again combined with humility. So to essentialize, these are the keys, very simple and practical keys that anyone can use if you want to attain real success on the spiritual path. This is the destination. Wanting it more and more, gradually, every day, wanting it more and more, and renouncing, detaching from the world, bringing again this realization, it's not a snake, it's a rope, it's not going to give me lasting happiness, it's something transient, but the shift of attitude that I can create inside, that will create lasting happiness. Having that as a living idea can transform the entire spiritual path.
This sort of brings us back full circle to what we were speaking in the beginning, when we said that the world is real. It is our superficial contact with the world that is not real. the renouncing the world doesn't mean not to be in the world. Like Uriel even said, some practical steps. It doesn't mean you don't, now you abandon your family and you don't do your duties and so forth. It means that our vision of the world changes. Maya, the illusion, is not the world. This is a concept that in Tantra is looked upon very clearly. The world is not illusory. The world is real. But our superficial contact with it is not real. That we seek eternal happiness in a non-eternal world, that isn't real. That's I don't want to say a lie, that's a bit harsh, but that's definitely an illusion. That's definitely a big confusion. To play with the world, like Krishna does in the Krishna Lila, if you want to watch some interesting Indian movies from the 70s, that is wonderful. That is delightful. That is enriching. That is very much real. That is very much eternal. And will reveal the eternal within the world if you do so. Therefore, the Tantrics embrace the practice of Karma Yoga, which you can read about in the Bhagavad Gita. The idea that action is actually superior to non-action. To be active in the world, to enjoy the world as the playground of the divine, is what the Tantrics refer to as the supreme asceticism. The actual renouncing lies in being able to be in the world while being completely detached from it, while not projecting all our little stories and hopes and wishes onto it. Like when you go to the playground and you enjoy the time there, or you make a theater play and you enjoy being in a character for that time being, you will not expect from that to now be a pirate forever because you played that, and from that to find a treasure in the playground floor and so on. No, you're pretending, you're enjoying, you are having a good time. That's not the problem. The problem is then you cry when it's over. That then you cry that pirate costume was just a costume. So the renunciation lies in understanding what is what, in removing the Maya. And removing the Maya doesn't mean to remove the world. It means to remove our superficial ideas of the world.
So the renunciation is an inner renunciation in which you choose not to associate your happiness with something external. This is attachment. It's like in the stock exchange. You put your money there, and when the stock exchange rises, your money rises, and when it goes down, your money goes down. It just means you don't put your money in the stock exchange of the world. You keep your happiness free from that. You keep your longing free from that. What you long for is beyond. And here you do your duties. You do your purpose. And in your duties and purpose, you enjoy as a side effect. Or you have some pain as a side effect. But it's very minor. It covers only a very small part of your consciousness, because the main part of your consciousness is directed towards the eternal. So you can find it in moments when it comes. You had a wonderful experience, a wonderful first date, and then you will feel there is a raging horde of demons there trying to make you attached, to enter a fantasy, to enter a dream. And they will create a foggy state of security. This man, this woman will solve all the suffering of my life, and you will live with that illusion for a few weeks, for a few months. And you actually believe it. We actually believe it in our stupidity. This is the non-renunciation. This is the attachment, and it's not tantric. And then, of course, we see the reality. No, it doesn't. Being with this lover doesn't solve all the problems of my life. And then all the pain that we were ignoring when we were mesmerized there, and then it hurts so much, and then we hate that person. Why doesn't he fulfill our dreams of being eternal? Because he is mortal. That's why. He's transient. She's transient. Yeah? So the renunciation comes when you experience something. There is a very small inner gesture, very refined inner gesture, which makes us kind of rest, which makes us depend on that pleasure. Or when there is a painful experience, there is a particular attachment to aversion from that. That you renounce. You don't move anymore to the flute of the world. You move to the eternal flute. That's that. Do you want to do something more?
No, I want to read one quote from Greek before we do gratitude. So one nice aphorism from our spiritual guide, Gregorian Bivolaru. Truly knowing that I don't know is the end of the spiritual journey. When you succeeded in overcoming everything, you come to this final conclusion. I don't know anything. In fact, nothing is gained and nothing is lost. Everything is pure and simple. Loss and gain always imply the action of illusion, Maya. Hey guys, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content on spirituality, Tantra and more.
And if you want to sign up for our online classes or for our retreats, you can see our website on the description below.